sponge that do dishes can feel soft as your face with mild green, very liquid.
Right, welcome back to the shed. I've read horror stories. Well, are they horror stories? I don't know. I wouldn't do it, but so a guy puts the air filter in the washing machine. Another guy says, I've used the dishwasher before now. Now, I wouldn't recommend any of those, especially with these big gauze type filters anyway. I suppose if it's a softer sponge, then you might get away with it. But for me, the temperatures involved there are too high, especially in a dishwasher. And I think the throwing it round in a washing machine isn't going to do it any good either. Now, mineral turpentine is oil-based, and it's probably the best product to clean foam filters. Because really, is it 100% safe? I would say it probably is. For both the seams, for the sponge and the glue inside these filters. Now, I didn't use mineral turpentine. I used a really light degreaser, which wasn't a K&N degreaser, and it wasn't WD-40 either. It was a generic degreaser. And I used that initially just to, sort of work its way into all of these little ridges and get inside there and just start to get to work a little bit before I washed them in warm water and washing up liquid. People who wash them in petrol, there's people who've been doing that for years and they swear by it. But for me, petroleum-based products can affect the foam, and they can affect the glue and make things a bit brittle and possibly cause the foam to swell a bit with prolonged use, and probably make the glue seem a bit brittle as well. I don't know, but I've never used it. Obviously, I've read up on it, and for me, that's not going to react too well with the foam inside there. Now, the argument online, people are, I use washing up liquid in warm water. Some people say, no, I wouldn't use that. Well, I'm not paying the prices of K&N's products, and that's nothing against K&N. It's just I don't need to pay those prices. So what I've done is I've looked at this, and I thought, you know what? Let's have a look at the ingredients then. This is a food-safe product. I wash my dishes in this, I rinse them, and then I eat food off them. So in my mind, if this is going to affect the foam and the glue in here, I shouldn't be washing my dishes with that. And just to be sure, I had a little look online, and let's look up the ingredients. So, to start with, inside here it talks about, it's got anionic and non-anionic, easy for me to say, something called surfactants. Now those are used to remove the clay and oily stains. And the surfactants in here, they work using, ionization. So when I add this to the water, the anionic surfactants ionize, and they've got a negative charge. The negatively charged surfactants bind to positively charged particles like mud and clay.
They've done studies,
So that is what it uses to strip that away. And from what I can see from all the data sheets online of that, of the surfactants, they aren't affecting foam, and certainly not the glue. The other ingredient you've got in here is benzoyethiazolinone. Now that just says it's an anti-microbial, and it's like a preservative. It's a chemical that's basically used in a wide variety of applications, and it basically dissolves in water. And that is just used as like an antimicrobial preservative within the fairy liquid or the washing up liquid itself. Again, data sheets confirm that's not going to affect the foam or the glue in my air filter. The next thing in there is phenoxyethanol. Well, that's a preservative, and that is used in cosmetics and personal care products. And you know what? You've probably got a cabinet full of phenoxyethanol at home, and without even realising. And that'll be on products that you spray on your body or put on your face. So I'm hoping if we put it on my face, it'll be safe enough for my foam air filter. And then the other ingredient here is limonene. And limonene is a colourless liquid, It's a hydrocarbon which is classified as it's basically the major component in the oil of fruit, in the oil of citrus peels, citrus fruit peels, and that gives it the smell. So from those ingredients, and from what I can read, and looking at the data sheets online, none of those are going to affect the foam in my filter or any glue. And what they are going to do, as long as I rinse them out properly, which I did, as you can see in the video, is in my mind they're going to do a bloody good job, after I've degreased this obviously, of giving it a damn good clean. And as I say, I've always used them, and yeah, they've been ideal. So I'm happy with the washing up liquid, and I wouldn't advise against it. I'm not telling you it's the only thing you should use or can use, but what I am saying is I use it, and from what I can tell, this stuff is bob on. So let's get over to oiling. Now, what I use to re-oil these, and don't re-oil these until they're dry. They've got to be dry before you re-oil them. It's absolutely pointless applying the oil. I use this. Again, K&N sell their own stuff, which comes in a can, which you can spray. Whatever it is, it's an oil that they sell. It comes in a can. It's really expensive. I've always been a fan of this Liqui Moly. You know, it's good, right? It works. I know it works because I've used it on these filters for the last, and in bike filters on bikes before for God knows how long. So I know it works. The thing is, on the back, highly flammable, causes skin irritation, may cause drowsiness or dizziness, toxic to aquatic life, long-lasting effects. Do not ingest. Keep away from heat, sparks, open flames, other ignition sources. Anyway, the list goes on. It even says call a poison centre should you ingest this stuff. Wear protective gloves. So I'm going to do that. Now, this is the stuff I use. I apply it to these with a paintbrush fairly liberally across the outside, around the outside for both. And then I just leave that again overnight to just absorb itself into the filter. I'll pour a little bit in to a little cap and I apply it with a paintbrush. So I'm going to do that now. Not very interesting for you guys to watch, but this is the stuff that I buy. As I say, you can buy K&N's own jizz juice, as Matt calls it, from the workshop. I like that term. I'm going to steal that. You can buy jizz juice if you want, but I'm going to go with this now. Just pour some in the cap. It's like a weird, like bluey colour. Stinks a bit. And a pair of gloves.
I was waiting in the undertow, set adrift with featherweight light bows, unaware of where my heart would flow. I was waiting in the undertow, can't touch the bottom, sit into a tumble, waves that shake me out.
So there we go. Hope that helps, guys. That's how I oil my air filters. That's how I clean them, rightly or wrongly. That's the way I do it. Hope it helped, and any of you with the same bike, I hope the video helped on how to get the air filters out as well. I'll pop it back together once those have dried. Cheerio.
I've been wrong before. I was waiting in the undertow,